welcome to the video where I don't have to try, aka the running out of ideas episode, aka the Q&A. I kind of have a tradition on my channel where I ask a question of the day at the end of all of my videos, but for the first time I'm gonna let you, the viewers, ask the questions to me. By which I mean I already asked people to send questions to me on Twitter, and I got a few from only 3 people, but it's enough so that I don't really have to try. So let's waste zero time and just get into the first question from Joe Rep. Joe is a really good friend of mine who has his own YouTube channel, which is linked in the description because it's really good and honestly way better than my channel, so you should check him out. He asks, do you know what the Bechdel test is and how helpful do you think it actually is in performing its role in feminist film theory? I don't really know anything about film theory of any type, so I can't really answer on that front. I do know what it is, in case you don't. A movie passes the test if it has at least 2 female characters with names who have a conversation about anything other than a man. In my opinion, a movie isn't hurt in any major way by not passing it, unless it is directly and seriously sexist in some way. I like when movies have very well-made female characters, preferably more than one, even if just one that carries the whole movie. But I don't base my watching personally on whether or not a movie does pass the test, though I can definitely see why it's important for other people. It's not as much so for me. I would much rather a movie have one really well-made and just well-realized female character than 2 badly realized ones who talk about their shoes or something. Not to discount its importance for other people, because I definitely get why people use it. I'm pretty sure the creator of the test actually has said that some of her favorite movies don't even pass it, so, you know. Then I got 4 questions from Grace, maybe the most loyal viewer of my channel. So thank you very much for that, Grace, for watching my videos and for leaving these questions, because I think they're all really good. First she asks, is there a movie trope commonly perceived as cheesy or overdone that you love anyway? I thought for a long time about this, and I'm not really sure if I can come up with any overdone, commonly made fun of tropes, unless you would consider the Wilhelm scream a trope. Yes, it's extremely overdone, and a lot of times it kind of takes you out of the movie, but also I just kind of find it hilarious, so I never mind when it's there. I would personally put the Wilhelm scream in my own movie if I ever made one. I don't know if that really counts, but I'm going with it anyway. Then she asks, what was your favorite non-Disney movie when you were a kid? Thinking about this one made me realize that most of the movies I remember watching as a kid were Disney. Or Pixar, which, for the purposes of this question, I will also exclude. I usually get really annoyed when people call Pixar movies just Disney movies, but I'll discount those as well since that would make the answer way too easy. Now it's just remembering what kids' movies I watched, or what movies I watched at all when I was a kid that I actually liked, to the point that I would say they're my favorite. Probably Megamind, honestly. That's the first one that comes to mind. It came out when I was 10, so it was a little bit later in my childhood, and closer to being a teenager. If we're talking younger, probably Jonah, a VeggieTales movie. I have always loved VeggieTales, I will probably always continue to love VeggieTales, and I watched that movie so many times. We'll go with those, that's the ones that come to mind. Grace's third question is, Studio Ghibli or Cartoon Saloon? Cartoon Saloon is an indie animation studio from Ireland? I think Ireland, and they've made 4 movies so far. And of those 4 movies, I've only seen 2. On the other hand, Studio Ghibli has been making movies for nearly 40 years, and have made many of the best movies ever made. Just off the top of my head, Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro, Princess Mononoke, Howl's Moving Castle, Castle in the Sky, and that's only 5. I like Song of the Sea and The Breadwinner, that's the only ones I've seen, but it's hard to compete with such a powerhouse off of just that. Ghibli has made more masterpiece movies than Cartoon Saloon has made at all. But regardless, Ghibli, I think 99% of people would agree, though I would still love to see the other Cartoon Saloon movies. They just don't have the catalog to compete. And her last question was, is there a trend in recent movies you're excited for? Yes, absolutely. The first one that comes to mind is animated movies based on comics and books, using a very similar art style to the original source material. So examples that come to mind would be the Peanuts movie, or Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And I love that so much because it shows a respect for the source material, as well as allows for a lot of different looks in animated movies compared to the usual expected CG look. It makes me so happy to see such high-profile animated movies that do look so different actually getting respect. And last, I have two questions from Maggie at WriterMags on Twitter. First question, if you could make a movie about anything, what would it be and who, living or dead, would star in it? Well, I have ideas for movies I would love to make if I had any sort of writing and filmmaking skill. One idea that I guess I'll just share now. Jeremy Renner gets stuck in a time loop on a bus, but he's not played by Jeremy Renner, he's played by my friend Alden. You said anyone, it doesn't have to be a celebrity. But if it had to be, I would go with Leonardo DiCaprio as Jeremy Renner, because why not? I like time loop stories, I like ridiculous premises, I like making fun of Jeremy Renner. Put all these things together, it sounds like a really good movie if I knew how to write movies. And lastly, if you could only change one thing about a film you didn't like, what would you change? That one's also easy. Take out all of the racial stuff from Airplane. Better movie instantly. Oh, you know what? How about this? Cars 2. The change? It doesn't exist anymore and Cars 3 is called Cars 2. That would make it infinitely better. I know that was a really short video and I didn't really have too much to say about any of these questions, but I just wanted to have a fun, quick little video while I still work on my April Fool's video. I'm not keeping it a secret, and it's not gonna just be one of those lazy, barely put together things that YouTubers love to do. So many April Fool's jokes on YouTube are just a black screen or a Rickroll or a picture of a cat or something with no effort put into it at all, and I hate it so much. Well, like the video, comment something, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell that gives you notifications, and share this video and probably other videos I've made, the better ones, the good ones, to your friends. Share them, the one where I talked about Twilight, that one's funny. The Oscar nominations are announced next week, and I'm going to try to react to those and get my reaction up on YouTube for all of you, so that'll be a lot of fun. Subscribe for that, and until next time, I will see you next time. Oh my, I actually fell over.